very much for joining in. Okay, so this I think like you guys already see like this kind of like chart. You have like AI, data science, and machine learning here, right? So data science, whatever you are learning currently in Betterment's data track or whatever you are when people talk about you about big data, about data science, but actually it's just a part of AI. It's intersect, but it's not really an AI. When we are going to say it's going to become AI is when you are doing the machine learning, neural networks, deep learning. I will go deep into these details later, but I would like you guys to know data science and big data is not really an AI if you don't involve AI in that. So this is quite hardcore, right? Okay, for those who are like thinking, oh, when I join the data science, I can do data analysis very well. I can do data visualization very well, but I would say right now that one is not AI. Okay. So oh, we have a lot of people here from Portugal, South Korea. Very nice to meet all of you here. Okay, let's go deeper here. So I'm going to explain the artificial intelligence first. So what is artificial intelligence? This is a very like kindergarten level. Okay, you can see like we have artificial and natural juice here. So the artificial juice and a natural juice. So what we call as artificial is when you put something that is man-made thing. So that is what we call as artificial. But then intelligence, we define intelligence as the ability to learn. So normally human brain is intelligence because we can learn by ourselves. We can recognize anything by ourselves. We are able to solve the problems by ourselves. So that is what we call as intelligence. So in other words, artificial intelligence means the man-made things that are extremely clever. Okay, so let's go next. I'm going to introduce the machine learning. So after artificial intelligence, you are going to see machine learning. So what is machine learning? Okay, you have a machine. It's not going to be just a server. Even your PC is also a machine. Even like if you are working in a factory that do all the manufacturing stuff that are also a machine. Even a radio is also a machine. So it's not going to be limit on what is a machine. And then the machine is going to learn. So what is the learning? Learning meaning when you have a teacher, like they are going to teach the students one by one until the students become very clever. So what we call as machine learning is machine is taught to learn by themselves, which is by the coders, by the programmers, until they become highly intelligent. So next I'm going to explain on neural networks. We are going to go deep right on this chart. Okay, what are neural networks? Okay, we have a neuron in human brain, right? You can see there is a neuron here, a lot of neurons. So artificial neural network is actually try to mimic human brain by connecting the nodes to produce the same input as what neurons in human brain can do. So our neurons in human brain is so good. Meaning like when you touch something that is very hot, oh, this is so hot, so your brain can already catch it. When you see something like a very good example, I think you are in front of your PC, right? You are in front of telephones, tablets, or maybe like your own iPad or whatsoever. So your brain already know, okay, this is iPad, this is tablet. So this is a very good neuron. So what is neural network trying to do? Like this is the neuron that are trying to mimic, like you give them the input, like okay, maybe okay, we are going to feed you with the image of a laptop, of a computer. So the output should be this is a computer or not computer, something like that. So that is the artificial neural networks. So next we are going to go deep, which is deep learning. Okay, machine learning is not deep learning. Deep learning is actually a sub-item in the machine learning and a sub-items in the neural networks. So what is deep learning? Okay, for you guys that currently maybe I hope you are not going to like sleep during my talk today and you are not going to sleep during the whole days you are studying. But if you are sleeping, well, worry not, because I think like the more you sleep, maybe the more intelligent you are going to be. You know, because like studying deeply is equal to deep learning, because you are going, the neural network is going to learn deeply. So that is the deep learning. So machines study more than 12 hours to understand and solve the problem given like we human do. So meaning like you have an image, you are going to feed into the machine. Okay, I'm going to give you, okay, this is a computer, this is a handphone, something like that. Usually a computer is like human. Like if you study for maybe 15 minutes, 10 minutes, you are not going to catch it very easily. Even when I'm going to give this presentation to you, I think like within 15 or 10 minutes, you are not going to catch it like very easy. You need to study deeply. You need to know what is the architecture behind it. You need to know why it is called as deep learning. Then you will get it. So this is what we call as deep learning. Okay. Next, I'm going to go to data science and big data. So big data. Big data means like you have a lot of data. Okay, currently I think in the course of Battlesman, maybe you will get like a very simple data, right? But actually in a real world data, you will see a lot of data. I think like whenever you are doing this Zoom, actually this Zoom call, you're going to go for deep in the Google, it's all the big data. So this big data and data science, science meaning scientific investigation, right? You have a hypothesis. You know, okay, this data is going to give you something like this. This data is not going to give you something like this. So meanings like big data and data science means scientifically investigate the big data by using some hypothesis to generate better results. So that is the meaning of big data and data science. So next, I'm going to introduce the data science life cycle. I know like some of you would like to join the data scientist, would like to become data scientists, would like to become data engineer. So in data science life cycle, you will start usually with a data mining. Data mining means like you are going to collect data one by one. You have a data, you have a database, and then you need to collect various types of data and put into a database, and then this data is what you are going to analyze. So you need to know which data to be used. This is really a crucial part. It's going to be done usually by subject matter experts. So like in Ever AI Technologies, because we are an AI company, so usually we will hear what the customer wants. So we will have the customer to mine the data for us. So we will get the data and we will actually suggest another data that can fit into that data. So this is what we call as the data mining. So next, this is quite like crucial part of everything actually. If you're not very good in data wrangling, actually how big, how good your like model can be, it depends on the data wrangling, because you're going to clean the data, you're going to transform the data, you need to visualize the data. So usually this part is being done by data analysts. Data analysts will clean the raw data to a readable format for a machine to be able to read and learn about it. And then in this part also, on the data transformation part, usually is being done by data engineers. So then the data visualization part is going to be done by data analysts. So that is the different thing. Like if you can make something like a very excellent dashboard like this is so awesome. This is so awesome, but this one is still not considered as AI. This is not AI yet. This is not machine learning yet. It's just like visualizing the data. I think like few years ago, if you use Tableau, you use Power BI, you use like so many data analyst tool, you can do this data visualization. But you cannot go into the prediction until you go to this predictive modeling. So in predictive modeling, I'm going to introduce a very simple one, which is a simple classification model. So we have a data. You split into a training, validation, and testing data. So this is the data, right? So usually if you have a very big data, like maybe 10,000 sets of data. So if you have 10,000 sets of data, you can split into 7 to 3, meaning like 7, 1.5, 1.5 here, or maybe 7 to 3, and from here like another 1.5. And then like if you have like a very big data, more than 10,000, 9 to 1, small data, 6 to 4, it depends on the ratio. Usually I will always experiment with the ratio. I'm not going to give a fixed ratio on this. And then this is a machine. I would consider the machine learning model as a very like a white box lah. We will call this here. So if you are not a machine learning engineer, usually what you get from your machine learning engineers, from your data scientist, is just a black box. It's just a white box here, and then you will put into your application, maybe in your phone, in your PC, in whatsoever place. Then you will predict into it's either A or B. So the next thing is the training process. So the training process in this machine learning model is I like visualize here. So you have a machine learning model, right? You are going to make it train into you get the correct answer. So when you get the correct answer, you will save the model. If you didn't get the correct answer, you will loop it back again. You will loop it back again and train and train and train until you get a very good, correct prediction results. So this is what we call as predictive modeling. It's quite complicated actually. So I think like if we have time, maybe I will like try to explain on predictive modeling in another session, but not in this session. Because first and foremost, like what you need to understand is predictive modeling is this kind of thing. So next is the deployment. This is a very crucial part if you are in the industry. You need to put everything into the apps, into the any like maybe a web apps in mobile apps, or maybe the latest one you have the Google Home, something like that. So the predicted result just now you put into the applications. Okay, so the machine learning category, we have three machine learning category actually. This is what usually the researchers or any books of machine learning, they will define three categories of machine learning, which are supervised, unsupervised, and reinforcement. In supervised, you have classification and regression. So you have the labels, you will get the answer. Unsupervised means like the machine doesn't know anything. It was like you need to teach the machine until they know. You need to classify, you need to categorize it by yourself. So this is what we call as unsupervised. They doesn't have any labels. Then we have the reinforcement. Reinforcement is very interesting. Reinforcement before this like is already like happened I think 20, 30 years ago. So anything that you see a robots, like a robot, something like that, is a decision and agent based. They are from the reinforcement learning. So what is supervised learning for classification? So usually you have a categorical data and you have a features. Then you are going to have the machine learn one by one until it become like, until they know that, okay, this is dogs and this is cats, this is dogs and this is cats. And then next we will have the regression one. So predicting the house price. So you will have like a linear regression here, a true value and a predicted value. So when you do the linear regression, actually you will know which one is a true value and which one is a predicted value. So like usually the house price, the what else, the vehicle price, something that is not really like solid, it will become a regression. Then is an unsupervised learning, which is the clustering and feature engineering. So this is the most crucial part actually, the feature engineering, because you want to know which features are the best, and it's going to be done by clustering. You group them by yourself. The next thing of unsupervised learning is dimensionality reduction. This is actually my PhD thesis about image compression and neural network compression as well. It's actually, you have an image. Dimensionality reduction is not only being done for image compression and neural network compression. It's also like if you have a very big data, then you can compress the data as well so that it can be interpreted easily. So this is what we call like, for those who are not speaking, I kindly like ask you to mute your mic. Thank you very much. Okay. So next is the regeneration. This is the face image generation. If you ever use the face apps, right, face apps, you will have like this kind of like face generation, something like this. So like you can generate your own face. Like currently, if even a tabular data also can be used with GAN. They have like the data generation in GAN. So the next one is the reinforcement learning. This is a very interesting thing actually. So we have here like a mouse, right? This is called as an agent, and this is the internal state, where this is the environment and this is the reward. So like the puzzle house to get the cheese. So this is the environment, and the state is the current location of the mouse. So the current location of the mouse is here. And then the reward will be cheese is given or cheese is not given. So the policy will be like, they will like, usually we will like set some policies. Like for example, if the mouse is in number 2, which is mouse stay and do nothing, then we won't give any cheese. So if the mouse is far from the exit will be here, I think. Then we will give like 1/4 cheese, and then like if the mouse is near to the exit, then we will give half of the cheese. If the mouse is at the exit, then we will give the cheese. So this is reinforcement learning. You force the agent to do whatever that you decide in the policy. So this is a very interesting topic, I would say. And I got to learn about reinforcement learning thanks to the Udacity actually. So next I would like to introduce our application, which is the digital identity by Ever AI Technologies. This is what our company is currently doing. Okay, so this is our EverPass, which is we do the Face ID verification, and then we verify the identity of the identity card holders, and then it is going to be stored in blockchain because we are actually the AI and blockchain company. Okay, let me show a little bit on what is our EverPass is. Okay. Oh, the video is not here. I think I will share the video later. Since I think the remaining meeting time here is 6 minutes only, okay, I will finish up this presentation, and later if you want the Q&A, you can join in by using the same link after I finish this presentation. So the computer vision, which is the technology, computer vision technology in Everpass, we did the facial liveness detection, which is the facial recognition, and we get the accuracy of almost 100%. Then we did the OCR. What is the meaning of OCR? Is the optical character recognition. So this is actually a Malaysian IC. So you put in, like you don't need to key in one by one in the form, so they can key in by yourself. Like the OCR, the AI key in by yourself. So this is a very good technology. I think like if you want to remove the hassle of keying the form by yourself one by one. And then what the best thing about this Everpass is like you have the facial identity and identity card information. That is how you confirm your identity. The most important thing on this part is the liveness detection, because like you can put like maybe someone picture here or maybe a video, but our Everpass can detect whether you are alive or not, whether you are the correct person or not. So that is the best thing about our Everpass. So the next thing is in our Everpass is actually we have the blockchain technology in Everpass, where we fetch data using encrypted unique dedicated key, and there is a blockchain inside it that checks the access control, and then we receive the image bytes, and then we compress the image by using neural networks. So this is the best thing. And then like the blockchain will be done like if, for example, if we have the government as our users, then the government can request to access the data. The blockchain will check the access control, and the blockchain will receive the image bytes, the digital identity, and only the government, only the admin, the one that will have like the superpower admin, will able to see the image and their identity. So this is the best thing about our blockchain. Even though the government side is eligible to see the data, but nobody can use the digital identity because it is bound with the biometric verification, and no one can tamper actually this part of data. So blockchain is another side of story. If I have time, maybe I will explain more about blockchain in the future. I think this is a very beginner level. This is what we are doing. So my tips to study AI is actually you can learn, you can read my articles here in the Medium, which is Mastering AI Programming with Python in 1 year. And then you can see like how I started my journey with AI. Then, but mostly I would say Udacity is my first step that actually trigger my study in AI. I studied AI before, but not as like extensive like this lah. So I would say this is a very good platform for you guys to start the AI study. So next, I would like to introduce Women in AI actually, as I'm also the ambassador. We are going to have, like, if you are an aspiring woman in becoming AI experts, ventures, and just to understand AI more, join us at womeninai.co. There has a form to become a member. So our next big virtual event is International Women's Day celebration with YAPAC, which will be done on 13 March in this time, 12 p.m. to 6 p.m. In Saturday, the venue will be in a VR platform called Verbella, and then the theme will be combat domestic violence with data and AI. So we are going to have a datathon, which is a hackathon for data, and also a wake talk. So if you guys have time, check it out in womeninai.co. We are going to update from time to time because this is actually a collaborations event with Women in AI Malaysia, India, Myanmar, Australia, Taiwan, and Japan. So last but not least, before I close this Zoom meeting, but if you want, I'm going to go for Q&A, but because this is a free Zoom, so in order for you guys to join the Q&A session, I would like to request you guys to join the link again after I stop this. So let me close this first so that you guys can